Welcome into Edgar Brown Stadium, where we have reached the November portion of our high school football broadcast schedule and the postseason. I'm Kevin Runtz alongside Craig West, and it's Chiawana, it's Wenatchee. We've officially reached do or die time.
Yeah, and already Wenatchee has lived past the first game, comes to the second game, and it's a David and Goliath, and they've got the rock and the slingshot.
Meanwhile, the running games for both teams are going to be really important for Wenatchee. Their real focus is getting Michael Mojica the ball.
Yeah, and Mojica is a guy that can run the ball with 9 touchdowns this year, 5'8", 190, low-centered, 735 yards on the ground. Look for him to be the name that you're going to call a lot tonight.
Second leading rusher in the Big Nine to the second leading rusher in the MCC, Anthony Godino, a huge part of what Chia wants to do.
Well, Godino's another guy. You're going to hear his name over and over again. Goes 2 ways, 8 touchdowns this year, 6.3 yards per carry, 898 yards of total offense. Unbelievable.
Yeah, great year. This game should be won or lost on the ground tonight. And we got kickoff coming up next. You're watching high school football on SWX. Lions logo. Tonight's game is sponsored by Jewelry Design Center. We want to be your jeweler for life. It is the round of 32 as you see the Wenatchee Panthers in the black pants, the white shirts, with the purple highlights and yellow helmets as well. Meanwhile, Chiawana in the home Royal Navy Blues. Well, I guess those are 2 different colors. Navy Blues with the white as well. Riverhawks come into this one 9-0. Wenatchee winning record 5-4. They were the 4th place team out of the Big Nine. Moses Lake just stomped everybody, and Brady J is the big reason why. 50 touchdowns, 3 interceptions for his season. That's some kind of, and he tied. If I remember Luke Thompson's information correctly, or somebody, I think it was Luke Thompson or somebody from the Yakima Herald, he tied Kellen Moore for the most touchdown passes in a game by anybody in Eastern Washington, either Eastern Washington history or maybe just like the Yakima Valley area.
I think Kellen would like to figure a way to get some of those in New Orleans right now.
Yeah, desperately, that's for sure.
They're very much the greenhorn team at this point. Very greenhorn.
It will be Wenatchee Panthers start the football. Morgan Dodson will kick the football away. Congratulations to young Mr. Dodson. He committed yesterday, I think it was, to the University of Montana to be their kicker. Talking to Scott Bond about that. He said Morgan had a lot of interest and just, Montana was the one that spoke to him and He's going to be a heck of a kicker for the Grizz. And
be there with my great nephew. Right? My great nephew.
Oh, yes.
At Montana.
Right. Yes. But he should be a lot of fun. It'll be interesting. It'll be really fun to watch his career as we get going here. Will be, again, Dodson kicking the football away for Wenatchee on the return. They're going to let it bounce, and it bounces out of bounds.
That's a little risky. I know it's risky to touch it, but it's risky thinking that could come back the other way, and that's a live ball.
That was Mojica on the return that was making the call, and it just took kind of an odd bounce.
Yeah. Footballs have a mind of their own. Our officiating crew, we had a chance to talk with them before the game.
Yes, Chris Neesham, who helped us out last week in that Mike and Richland game. We were a little confused about the penalty on the touchdown. He explained it to us via text. And a fun conversation about that. John Christensen is your umpire. Kerry Steeken is the head linesman. The line judge is Steve Henneman. And then the back judge is the man who made that call in the Mike and Richland game, Kevon Skinner. Those are our officials for tonight. A lot of games cleared out. And so it looks like, for the most part, we shouldn't have an official problem the rest of the way. Games will either be Friday or Saturday based on what the schools need.
Kevon says if he has the same type of play, he's going to look up and spike the flag and point up at the box.
So 1st and 10 for Wenatchee. They're going to throw on the first pass. Caught up past the 40-yard line. And a first down. That was Ryan Branham to Josiah Walker.
Yeah, Walker at 6'1", 165. Quick slant over the middle. Throwing under the coverage. And nice safe pass. Picks up 8 yards and sends a message right on the first play.
Surprising. I suppose if you're Coach Taylor Mitchell, that's what you're thinking, is they're expecting run, so let's do something quick, especially running and passing out of the spread look. That Chiawana defense so potent. The handoff. Now this wouldn't be Mojica. Nice cut up the middle, past the 50-yard line into Chiawana territory, down at about the 46-yard line.
Great block on Gage Williams coming from the outside, and he was coming in hard. Got knocked right down on a tremendous block by Jacob Penatau, and he just knocked him straight down.
Yeah, they were telling me it's Peniotu. That's how you say those names. There's 3 of them on this Wenatchee Panthers team. Peniotu. All right, so 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of Chiawana for the Panthers. The handoff again, Mojica bouncing, but not really going anywhere. Dropped for the loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, got hit hard and stood up. Getting a part of him was Cole Gallagher.
As we talked about in the pregame, Mojica is 735 yards rushing on the season, 2nd in the Big Nine, 8 touchdowns, tied for 1st in the Big Nine. Now 3 receivers out to the right, 2nd and 11. Branham looks, throws, caught, and down inside the 40, down to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of about 8.
Well, both teams, and you came in, we talked about it before the game, that they like to run the ball, but Wenatchee is certainly sending us, head coach Taylor Mitchell, a little different message that, hey, we can throw the ball too, and they're doing a good job throwing under the coverage.
So they'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Panthers. The brisk night here at Edgar Brown Stadium. We'll see what they decide. I'd imagine it's 2-down territory if you're Wenatchee. Mojica in the backfield, but looking to throw. And incomplete. Walker again has been his target the first 3 passes.
Yeah,
that's incomplete.
That's Cooper Sisney. He just took his feet out, hit him low, and pass high, hit low, and down you go. Perfect play, perfect timing, and a 4th down situation.
So that'll bring up 4th and 4 for Wenatchee. Big defensive opportunity here for the Riverhawks. Panthers, though, they've had the ball for a little over 2 minutes to start this one. Started at their own 35-yard line with that kickoff out of bounds. Branham steps back, looks, throws. Caught, 1st down, Wenatchee inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. That was, is that Zoe McGinnis on the catch?
Well, again, getting that 1st down stick, able to pick up a little bit more. And trying to knock that pass down. The 6'4" Gage Williams gives a wave at it as it came by the line, but once again, able to make the collection, and yet another first down, fourth in this drive so far.
Griffin Butler on the catch there. So 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Branham turns and fakes the handoff to Mojica, throws out to Butler. It's low and incomplete.
Yeah, quick screen pass, but it was pressure again, and don't want to be redundant. Told his grandpa I'd say nice things, talked with him before the game, known his grandpa a long time, but Gage Williams over there, he's a big target, and you could tell he had to loft that well over the 6'4" guy coming in, and he jumped and was maybe another 18 inches higher as he went up, so not an easy target to find your man out in the flat.
Talking with Coach Scott Bond before the game, and Gage actually started the season as their number one quarterback. By the Southridge game, he had said, hey, we should go with Emmett. Let me focus on being a tight end and a D lineman. And that has worked out great because he's just been money. As Brandon will keep it, get it outside, and gets maybe a yard, but a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think it's going to be holding. Had some over there on the right side. In fact, not one, but two. The referee throwing the flag along with the umpire. And indeed, it's a hold against Wenatchee.
And there's Chris Neesham.
Used to play head-to-head against him, fellow goaltender. He's a lefty, though. Lefties are a little off-centered. Went in the Navy then. He's a good official.
Yeah, said you've known him since he was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Yeah,
so.
He's just a little guy. Yep, known him a long time. Always fun, and it's great. And kids, they always want to be players, but there's so many opportunities being an official. And you can make the big leagues as an official and make a lot of money. So you want to make the big leagues, don't have to make it as a player. You can do it with the stripes.
So 1st and 20 now for Wenatchee as Brandon will send the receiver in motion. Steps back, looks to his right, throws. Caught inside the 20 down to about the 18-yard line. That was Micah Nell on the reception.
Yeah, and the tackle by Andre Mirror. Mirror at 5'10", 175, able to take him down, and another first down situation where they continue to move the ball. 3rd down, and they need some yardage here. 3rd and a long 6.
So 3rd down now. But they certainly got significantly closer to that first down marker. As Branham steps back, going to throw other direction and incomplete. Butler just had it and turned before he had it entirely.
Yeah, you got to catch that. That's a very catchable ball, and that's 2 balls here in the last 4 that have been thrown that should have been caught out there in the flat. Both dropped, and now big situation here, and we know what the defense can do for Chiawana.
Bring up 4th down. And they're going to kick a field goal.
Interesting here.
So Anthony Garcia out there to kick the field goal. Ball will be placed at the 25, makes it 35 yards. Just trying to get points on the board. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. So Wenatchee moves the football, nothing to show for it, however.
A little bit surprised that Wenatchee just didn't go for it. Deep enough in the Chiawana end. Why not to go for a short sideline pass? Instead, choose to go for the field goal and come away with nothing. And Chiawana holds, takes over the first time.
So that'll bring out the Riverhawks offense. 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Emmett Osterdock, the kid out of Arizona, transferred into Chiawana when his family moved. Gage Williams switching up, being a tight end, which is where he's probably going to end up when he plays college football. D end and a tight end. Osterdock out of that shotgun look. Turns, hands it off Godino, right side, bouncing. Flag comes in. Godino slicing through the defense up to the 35. But we'll see where the flag is.
Yeah, I think it's going to come all the way back. And that one again thrown by the white hat.
Yeah, it was a 15-yard gain that, if it's a hold, comes all the way back.
Yeah, I asked Chris if he was going to have sound for us. He said, no, they can't use it here in the stadium. because there's a church over across the way that has a frequency that interferes with what they use here. So we might get a sermon or something. We don't know.
Cool. Moon looks really, really cool over there.
All but full.
All but full, but just really cool color and everything.
A week late, though. It would have been great to have had that on Halloween.
And then
last
Halloween
Friday.
night, yeah. I think Halloween was probably crazy enough without full moon's impact. So Osterdock looks, throws, complete up to about the original line of scrimmage. That was Morgan Dodson, the tight end, and a gain of 10. Now to bring up second down.
Yeah, Osterdock very impressive as a
And
sophomore.
you can see the moon over the church.
Yeah, great look at it.
Yes, it looks really cool. It's the kind of moon that would be in the Thriller video. Osterdock now going to swing it out to his right. Godino. He had a couple of blockers out there, but the defenders beat them. So a gain of maybe a couple on that. Now to bring up third down and 8.
Well, Wenatchee this year in the regular season was 4-4, and one loss they had against Moses Lake, 56-0.
Everybody lost like that to Moses Lake.
And that's you had a Brady J moment that went on there.
As Osterdock looks, going to throw to his left. Caught. Looks like it's enough for a first down. It is. Gain of about 10.
Well, and great patience, too, in the pocket for Osterdock as he waited and was about to get hit. Picked his receiver, earns a first down.
That is Jairo Martinez. So a gain of 10 and a first down. Chiawana gets to keep the ball in their hands. Cooper Cisney in the backfield now. He's going to get the pitch. Looks to his right side. Has some blockers out there. Cuts it up past the 40 up to about the 46. But a flag comes in late. But right around the area where you might expect some level of holding, blocking of foul of some sort.
And that flag going to go right at the 40-yard line.
And that's exactly what it's going to be. Holding on Chiawana. So that'll back him up. Cisney brothers, a huge part of the defense of Chiawana. Cooper getting the opportunity on the offensive side of the ball now. His older brother, Tayton. Such a fun young man to talk to. Got a chance to talk to them last year after they won the MCC for what was I think the third time in a row. As a handoff up the middle. Godino gets about 6.
Well, that's about what he knocks off every time he has the ball. 6.3 is average on the season, and somehow, some way, always finds a way to gain it. 2nd and 9 right now.
There you saw Chad Herron, who's about to be a very, very busy man as basketball season gets started a week from next Wednesday. It's Osterdock going to throw it down the middle, wide open, and a nice one-handed catch from Martinez.
How about that? Martinez, that's worth another look. One-handed pulls it to the chest, right up to the number 3. Just a beauty. Look from the end zone.
Yeah, the ball just a skosh out in front of him, but Martinez helps out with the great one-handed catch.
Well, that could be one of your plays of the night right there. You'll have that on tonight.
And that'll bring up 1st and 10 now from the Wenatchee 40-yard line. Osterdock turns, hands the ball off to Cooper Cisney. Started left, bounces to the right, inside the 30, 25, 20, and he's gone. Touchdown, Chiawana Riverhawks. Cooper Cisney to the house from 40 yards out. A flag on the play, though.
Yeah, and more than likely, play's going to come back. Penalty down at the 28-yard line, the flag.
Yeah, beyond the first down marker is what the penalty flag is.
And it was right where he opened it up.
Another hold. So Chiawana having a little bit of trouble blocking tonight on this Wenatchee team. That takes back a 40-yard touchdown run from Cooper Sisney.
You know, this is a game that if you're Wenatchee, you kind of cherish this. And if you're a coach, you can really use it. And I don't know, with guys that I've coached, it'd be, guys, we're going to the prom and we don't have any dates, but we're going to leave with everybody else's dates. And this is kind of the way you have to approach it. And it loosens the guys up. Okay, we're going to take all the dates. And when you win the game, they come in, we took all the dates. And you move on to the next game. So this is the situation. They've got nothing to lose in this game.
And handoff, Sisney breaks out of a tackle in the backfield. Breaks out of a second, but is dropped for a loss of 4.
Yeah, great read. Wenatchee was just waiting for it. And there, Matt Wilson just says hello. Comes in, body slams, and handle in that.
That'll bring up 2nd and 12.
Crutcher in as well on the play, but really the punishing blow thrown by Wilson.
2nd and 12 for the Riverhawks. As we reach closer and closer to the 4-minute mark. Just the second drive of the game in the first nearly 8 minutes of this contest. Wenatchee got one. Now Chiawana on there first. Osterdock looks, throws. That is over everybody's head as he was trying to hit Gage Williams on the outside.
Yeah, good coverage, too, as right there was Thomas Matheson, 6 foot, 170-pounder, and Matheson, the junior, had him covered, and there was really no choice but for Osterdock to sling that onto the friendly sideline.
So 3rd and 12, I'd imagine this is 2-down territory. Get what you can, get closer. Osterdock has 3 receivers to his left, single receiver wide right, and Godino in the backfield. Osterdock looks, he's going to have to scramble a little bit to his right, looking for anybody going to keep it himself and run out of bounds, maybe a yard. That'll bring up 4th down.
Well, for college football, you might be trying a field goal here, even though it'd be about a 55-yarder, 56.
I think they're going to just punt the ball away, play field position.
Yeah, they're gonna have to punt here, try and see if they can put them in a sorry position here. Try and hang it toward the corner.
Yeah, you just try to pin them back. Hope your defense. They'll switch up who the kicker is now. Not ever think I've seen that before. And looks like Chiawana's going to call it. Or no, there's some substitution. Morgan Dodson has to come out of the game. So Anthony Ganino will come in. So it'll be Ender Douglas back. I have never seen the punter go in motion to shift to a different punter. That's news to me. And Douglas gonna look like he might think about throwing it, but he's gonna kick it, and not nearly as well as I think he would have liked.
No, and that ends up being about a 21-yard punt.
So with 3:50 to go here in the first, it's no score. We'll be back with more action. You're watching high school football on SWX. ICCU is proud to sponsor SWX coverage of local high school sports in the stands, on campus, and across our community. ICCU is cheering for student athletes, their families, and the fans who make game night special. ICCU, looking after your daily balance. Second drive opportunity here for the Wenatchee Panthers. They got down inside of a Chiawana territory but missed the field goal. And they get, again, pretty good starting field position at their own 30. Mahika in the backfield. Ryan Branham has two receivers on either side for him. Chiawana, as always, looks like they're bringing blitz, but it's a matter of who goes. Hand off Mahika. Cuts up the middle, finds some space now to the right side, lowers his shoulder, gets about 6 on the play. Michael Mahika.
Well, he's very low centered, and he made a nice little cut there, earned that. He averages about 6 yards a carry. He gets 6 yards. That little dance. We'll see it here. Cuts. And then angles back in and brought down.
Nice open field tackle. I think that was Ramsey Livingston, but I missed the number briefly. Might have been Diego Sabalza. Branham rolls to his right. He's going to keep it. He's going to get tripped up from behind the backfield by Gage Williams.
Yeah, Williams just reaching out, using that 6'4" length of his, and grabbed a handful of foot, able to yank him down. So able to pull him down and kick it to third down and, maybe 3.
Yeah, I think they gave him a yard on that one. So 3rd and 3. It's Ryan Branham. We'll check in for the play from the sideline. Taylor Mitchell is in his second year at Wenatchee. Relatively young early on in his career with the Wenatchee Panthers. A program that's a nice history in the Big Nine. As Branham going to keep it just for a little quarterback sneak up the middle. See where they place it. It's going to be close. Really, really close. Ball's going to be marked, I believe, just short of the 40. He needed 3, and I think he got 2 3/4. Well, there is also a flag on the play. And he's talking with Chiawana coaches and Scott Bond, getting the official call, what they want to do. So they'll back him up. Oh, chop block is the call. That's huge. Some sort of illegal motion or whatever. That's 5 yards. Chop blocks, personal fouls are 15 and takes it from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 18 now. Saw that a couple of times on Sunday night last weekend with Seahawks and the Commanders, where they were in a situation where, it's all about protecting the lower half of defenders. Don't chop them from an angle in the knee. Don't chop them when they're engaged with somebody. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that you're trying to do to make sure that nobody's tearing up a ligament somewhere.
What do you call that Raider offense last night? It's hard to call it offense. It'd be offensive.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's more offensive than offense, as it's 3rd and 18 here. Now for Wenatchee, 4 receivers for Branham. He steps back. He's got all kinds of pressure. He's going to run a little screen pass. And it's going to get up to about the 32-yard line. That caught by Stewie McGinnis. So I want to say he got 10. But not nearly enough for the first down.
McGinnis, 5'8", 150, able to make that catch, the senior. And, again, not a bad decision when you're that deep in your own end. Play conservative, and 4th and 10, punting situation. With $1:49 left here in this first quarter.
And the officials stopping things here. Oh, for an injury. Yeah, there's an injured player. Yeah. So hopefully that young Wenatchee Panther is okay. Tonight's game sponsored by Prosser Orthopedic Center, home of fellowship-trained surgeons Dr. Higgs and Dr. Goodell. Trusted care for sports injuries and joint health, supporting athletes and families in our community. Prosser Memorial Health, This is how we care. Wenatchee player up and off on his own accord. I think that might have been Jacob Peniotu. And so out to kick the football away will be Anthony Garcia. Back on the return is Cooper Sisney. Fourth and 10 to call for the Wenatchee Panthers. So their second drive, not very successful either, but certainly struggled a lot more as that's going to go over Sisney's head. Bounce, roll down about the 19-yard line where he'll fall on it. And that is where it'll be first and 10 for Chiawana.
Yeah, Sisney was way up. In fact, he was at, the 35, 40-yard line of Chiawana, and then that ball sailed over his head by about 20 yards.
Lack of familiarity, it feels like, is a huge part. You don't really know what their kickers are going to do.
And I was a little surprised, too. He went and dove on the football.
Yeah, didn't have to.
No, he didn't have to do that. And when he did that, it makes it a live ball immediately. But bit of a dangerous play with a ball that deep in your own end at the 19-yard line.
Minute 26 to go here in the quarter. Emmett Osterdock and the Chiawana offense out for the second time tonight. Osterdock turns, hands the football off. Godino up the middle. Hit and dropped at the line by a couple of different Panthers. Zachary Peniotu. That'll be a gain of 4 for Godino.
Well, we've already had one touchdown taken off the board in this game. I think this is a game we thought there might be a lot of points, but here as we near the end of the first quarter, we've got nothing to show for it.
Both teams being a little methodical, hopeful to get the ground game going as Godino met. He's going to be driven back. Hector Ruiz, first one there, as Godino gets nothing.
Well, Chiawana, the rested team, obviously having the week off and playing its game on Friday. And Wenatchee has done a great job so far. And definitely, I would say, has set the pace in this game so far.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about David and Goliath, and so far David's holding his own.
He hasn't used that rock in the slingshot yet.
No. Osterdock back to throw. Throws to his left, incomplete. Intended for Sean Raymond.
Coverage by Jordan Barb right on top of him, the junior, and had him covered well. There's a good look at him. And now it's Chiawana's turn to punt away here in the waning seconds of this first quarter.
So 4th and 6 for the Riverhawks. Morgan Dodson back. Kick the football away. A high snap. He has to go up and get it, and he's in all kinds of trouble. Tries to get the football away. Does somehow get it away. And that's going to take a little bit of a Chiawana bounce before it's down at the 48-yard line. I do not know how he got that away.
It doesn't matter. But O'Reilly had the ball hit him in the leg, so that kind of killed it. And if it was going to go any farther down the field, and O'Reilly just settles it down. But that was an act of magic, really, by Dodson. He was just besieged with people coming after him.
Yeah, high
Got
snap.
away a great kick.
Bounced off his hands, had to collect it, and then...
Presence of mind is what you would call that.
Yes.
Stayed cool through all of that.
Last play of the first quarter here. Wenatchee, 1st and 10 at the Chiawana 47-yard line.
Maybe a future airline pilot going through the rocky weather and keeping everything level. Give you that calm voiceover. This is your pilot speaking.
Ryan Branham called off because of, I believe, a necklace that the officials didn't deem appropriate or legal. So Rigo Garcia will step in. Also in the backfield, I think is that Liam Stuber. And now Rigo Garcia being escorted off the field. It's actually Russell Cate in the backfield. So do we have yet another quarterback that needs to come in? And it'll just be Michael Mahica. So a direct snap to Michael Mahica is what we're going to end up doing on this.
Yeah, it'll just end the quarter.
I'd imagine he just going to run it. He fakes the throw initially, and then he's swallowed up in the backfield.
Yeah, and one of the rare times he's going to lose yardage right there.
So loss of 6. Now to be in the 1. There is no score, so nothing to say there. We'll be back with the second quarter action. You're watching high school football on SWX. Calling all fall fanatics, the new DQ Fall Treat menu is here. Enjoy the new Caramel Toffee Cookie Blizzard Treat, the Pumpkin Pie Blizzard Treat, or new Maple Cookie Shakes. And get them delivered in the DQ app where happy tastes good. So we switch directions in the Wenatchee Panthers. I have it 2nd and 16. 2nd and 15. After the big loss. Hopefully they were able to get some explanation as to guys and what they can and cannot wear when it comes to being on the field. As Branham's going to throw it in, almost intercepted. Great break on the ball by Cooper Sisney, intended for Josiah Walker.
Boy, Walker, did he ever get hit by Sisney right between the 1 and the 5, and we're checking on him. Boy, did he get hit.
Knocked the air out of you on that one.
Definitely will, right between the numbers in the back, and he's going to leave for a play.
I'll never forget, the first time I ever had that happen to me, it is not an enjoyable experience. I was being up 3rd and long. Happened to me in middle school. I had no idea what was going on. All of a sudden, you can't breathe.
Yeah, somebody sucked all the air out of the building, and you realize you're outside. There's no air. Not a friendly feeling.
So 3rd and long for Wenatchee. Branham, 3 receivers at his left. Gage Williams. Looks he's going to blitz off that left-hand side. Now Branham swallowed up, eventually finished off by Williams. But there were several Chiawana Riverhawks in on that one.
Well, that's the first sack of the game, and of course the guy we've said his name plenty of times. Here's Gage Williams getting in there and just wrestles him down to the turf.
Yeah, the pressure was initially started by number 50, Brady Knowlton, who will probably be on the all-league football team, whether it's first or second team. He's had a great season. Chiawana going to put 3 back in a return triangle look. backing up. This is good. I think this protects him a little bit from a ball that goes too far. You can have Cisney back, and he collects it at the 12-yard line. Looking to his right. Gets up past the 25 to the 27. That's where Chiawana will start with the football.
Stowe McGinnis pulled him down from behind, and good return by Cisney.
So 1st and 10, Chiawana's third opportunity with the football. Quickly paced.
You'd like to think that
so far.
You'd like to think with both teams that some of the jitters are out. Game would settle in here in the second quarter.
Well, yeah. Every week so far, you've had another week to play. This is the last week in which this is a week in which you may not have another week. Is Osterdock going to throw deep down the right-hand side, incomplete. Intended for Angel Cologne.
Well, this is the time of year, Kevin, that you earn the right to play again.
Yeah.
You want to earn the right to play another game. And it's a loser-out situation, so it's not like the regular season where you know, hey, we've got a game next Friday night. You might be getting ready for basketball.
Yeah.
Be the next thing you're getting ready for. So the idea, and especially Chiawana, everybody, I think, within the MCC thought that the league went through them, and same for the entire state.
Osterdock's pass is low. It'll be complete. In fact, it's complete for a loss of 3.
Laying on of hands by Matt Wilson, but I think everybody in the state expects them to stay competitive. And right now, Wenatchee certainly up to the task so far in this game.
Chiawana got to the state semifinals last year, losing at Sumner, the eventual state champions, in just an incredible game. Back and forth with the 3 overtimes. Each team tried to kick a field goal to win it in regulation and couldn't. It was a remarkable football game. Is Wenatchee going to call a timeout at 10:18 to go? It was some kind of game. I got a chance to be over there and watch that game, and it sure was a whole lot of fun. Just heartbreak for the Chiawana kids.
When you have a kicking game in high school, and Chiawana most certainly does. Dodson was 60 points this year.
Yeah.
And let me say that again, high school, 60 points, a lot of points to put up on the board. And his longest field goal this year is at 32. And you got to look at that as he gets older, and you project that. Is this a guy that can kick the ball 50 yards?
Yeah, high-level FCS.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to thank proud sponsor of high school football, Perfection Glass. Celebrating 50 years strong, 50 years local, Perfection Glass brings you the best in Milgard windows and doors. 5 decades of craftsmanship and a passion for supporting Tri-Cities youth. Perfection Glass is here for you. 3rd 13 for Chiawana. Both offenses really struggling right now. As Osterdock out of that shotgun formation. Steps back, looking, going to throw, and incomplete. Wasn't going to get anywhere near the first down.
Thomas Matheson, a very happy guy as you see him celebrating again. Patted everywhere and jumping up and down with that great hit. And they're going to have to punt again.
Intended for Cole Gallagher. That'll bring up 4th down. But again, this was 3rd and 13, and he threw a pretty short pass, and even if it's caught, was going to bring up a 4th and long and probably a punt situation. Dodson looks to boot the ball away. High, bounces, fair catch called for. As the ball rolls inside the 40 and then back to the 40, and that is where Wenatchee will start with the football. Another opportunity from good field position for the Panthers.
Yeah, and all that punt, and that's about 41 with the bounce. So a good punt. Dodson gets the job done, but really not bad field position for Wenatchee to take over, trying to get that game's first score.
Yeah, no one been able to crack the code as of yet.
Well, we've had one that was called back.
Yes, that's true.
For a holding penalty. So Godino, we thought, had the end zone and had to bring that one back.
So Branham in that shotgun look with Mahika to his left. Turns, hands the football off. Mahika gets through a couple of defenders and spins it past the 45 to about the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up second and short.
Well, we felt Mojica would be busy in the game. He certainly has been busy. Chalks up another 4 yards and able to cut and weave his way through.
Just nice patience, good vision. He just is able to keep his feet underneath him. And
eventually it was Allworth that brought him down.
Mojica Sr. not ready to end his high school football career. Russell Cate in the backfield now. He'll get the handoff. Stood up and pushes his way forward. Russell Cate gets about 3. He needed 2, gets 3. That'll bring up a first down. So Wenatchee. Yeah, if you were a boxing judge so far, I think you would have given the slight edge to Wenatchee so far tonight.
Yeah, I think as far as
if you were on a scorecard.
Yeah, if we were on points, yeah, I'd have the Panthers leading on my fight card. Which, if you'd asked me 2 hours ago, I don't think that I would have that on my fight card. But right now, I most certainly would. They've won the first round, and so far they have, I'll say it again, they've set the pace.
Handoff, left side. Maybe a yard there.
You know, if you're Chiawana, these are games you're expected to win. And there'll be some of the people, I think, looking on, oh, well, okay, who would you play next week? Wenatchee has taken that challenge. And again, we're back to the prom with no dates, and right now they're doing what they can. They're drinking all the punch at the party.
2nd and 9 now for Wenatchee. Brandon looking over the defense. Turns, fakes the handoff. He's going to roll to his right. He's got all kinds of pressure there. And able to complete the pass. Caught there by Stuber. Not much on the play, maybe a couple. That'll bring him 3rd and 7.
Yeah, he might have picked up a yard, and that's it. Didn't have much to look for and just went short. So 3rd and 8. Big play here for the Panthers.
I'd imagine if you're on the plus side of the field, it's a situation where you're willing to go for it on 4th. Though given the placement on the field, I guess it could depend on what you do here. Ryan Branham, 6'4", 210-pound senior. Timeout called. That'll be a timeout.
That's second
by
one
Wenatchee. Second
one they've burned.
Second for Wenatchee on this one. Coming up tomorrow on SWX, and we'll have a more in-depth because we've got a lot going on SWX. Coming up tomorrow from Hermiston, Kennison Field down there in Hermiston. We're going to have the Columbia Basin Youth Football 6th, 7th, and 8th grade championships. That'll be fun. Craig and I will be calling more football tomorrow.
My favorite press box to work out of.
It is a beautiful press box.
It's like working out of a college press box. It is so nice there. If we could only get the boosters to come and give their little feed before the game.
Yeah, that would be nice.
They do just a magnificent job in Hermiston.
Broadcast will begin at noon tomorrow, and then got a full schedule and full slate of games coming up. Don't forget, on Nonstop Local tonight, we'll have SWX Overtime. Highlights of this game and many, many others in the area.
You got Evan out shooting the...
I've got many people out shooting, yeah.
He's out doing some shooting, I'm sure.
Makes the handoff and the pass goes incomplete. They were trying to do a little bit of a wide receiver screen to Josiah Walker.
I would think he's over in Richland, first and foremost.
He's starting in... Yeah, he's actually... Both of his games are in Richland today. He's got Liberty Christian, who's playing at Hanford. And then, of course, Richland and Mount Si. He'll also be going out to Kennewick tomorrow for the Kennewick West Seattle game. And we'll hopefully get a couple of others tomorrow. It's a busy, busy time of year. Lots of players, lots of kids getting opportunities. And start to whittle away.
Afternoon game tomorrow?
Yeah. 2 o'clock. And Wenatchee going to punt it. Just too long, and they want to play field position as well as Garcia will boot this one away. High kick. Cisneal collects it. Backs up to about the 10-yard line, looking for some blockers. Gets outside, 15, 20, and then Finally driven out of bounds past the 25-yard line. Down at the 28.
We did most of that running east-west, but that was not an easy catch to go back over the shoulder and catch it off that right shoulder pad. And
Ryan
looks like
Rainbolt.
we've got somebody down.
Yeah, Ryan Rainbolt down. Able to stand up on his own. It's one of the nice things. If you're on the one side, you'll get other teams' trainers to come out, just sort of get the initial look, make sure nothing's dramatically needs to be dealt with. So the Chiawana offense struggling right now. Trying to find some rhythm.
Well, poise is the word that comes to mind. And I think the team that's been more poised at this point has been Wenatchee.
I was talking with Coach Scott Bond before the game, and he had said that, because Gage Williams started the year as the number one quarterback for Chiawana. He had been primarily the running quarterback, the guy that you got in behind center when you're near the end zone or on third and fourth and short. And Bond was telling me that it was Gage that came to him and said, I think it's maybe time that we go with them at full time. I'll be ready whenever you call on me, but let me focus on being a tight end and a D lineman instead. Pitch to the outside, Gadino gets past one defender, cuts up, gets past the first down marker all the way up to about the 40-yard line. Anthony Gadino will mark him down at the 41. That's a gain of 14 on the play.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Riverhawks needed. And we can go back to it. Learning to play in a playoff game in any sport, it's an education. And Osterdock, as a sophomore, taking over that position, you kind of feel your way through. It's different than a regular season game for sure.
Gadino again, but this time only a couple on the play. Among those on the tackle, Matt Wilson, Hector Ruiz as well.
And the thing about playoff games is new wrinkles are thrown in. You can watch all the video you want of the previous 9 games that Wenatchee's played, but what they're going to throw at you this game, they're going to do different things.
Gadino this time left side. Gets past one defender, slows up to about the 50. When they mark him down, or mark him right at the 50-yard line, gain of 7. That'll bring up third and a yard.
Yeah, just short of that first down stick.
Midway through the second quarter, watch this nice little plant cut and acceleration. Tackle made by Leander Crutcher. So third and a yard at midfield. Handoff, Cooper Cisney, right side, finds a hole. Now he's going to break out of a tackle up past the 40, and the Jets come on. Flag comes out, though, as Cisney works all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 22 on the play, but a flag thrown. And so far, that's been bad news for Chiawana.
Really, for both the teams. When they've had big game plays, it seems those flags have gotten in the way. And most certainly the one to be punished the most has been Chiawana for sure. Self-inflicted wounds, and here we go again.
So Chris Neesham will come over. Hold on Chiawana yet again. Another big run play taken back. So it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which will place the ball right back at the 50-yard line. Third and a yard. So, as we talked about, this is where Gage Williams comes in, and he'll be behind center. Cooper Cisney will join him, and Williams keeps it up the middle. First down, past the 45, battling his way inside the 40, down to about the 30, not the market at the 40-yard line, gain of 10.
And that's what the experience right there of Williams, and a good move by Bond. You know what you need, and he's going to run right up the center. And gets a first down and a lot more.
They're going to keep Gage out there at quarterback. And you can see him battling his way. Gage turns, hands the football off. Jet sweep left for Gadino inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play.
So we've seen end-around sweeps from the left end, now from the right. And It's going to be a little bit different look here with Williams moving in the shotgun. A little bit to look different for Wenatchee to see him back there behind the center.
Williams going to keep it himself this time. Right side. Lots of great blocking. Cuts it back in. Down to about the 25. Spins out of a tackle. Waddling his way down. Inside the 25. Down to the 22. It's a gain of 12.
Well, that's a power runner at 6'4", 230. Smart guy that's played in a lot of playoff games. And just cuts inside that right tackle. Big yardage.
So Williams again behind center, and going to call a timeout. So we'll take that opportunity ourselves for a timeout. No score here with 4:12 left in the first half. You're watching high school football on SWX. Country Mercantile, your one-stop shop for local gourmet foods and unique gifts. From handcrafted chocolates to locally sourced jams, marinades, dips, and mixes. Don't forget fresh baked artisanal breads and rolls. Country Mercantile, fresh, local flavor. Chiawana starting to move the ball effectively with Gage Williams as the quarterback. Mostly he's either handed it off or run it himself, as they try to dominate the line of scrimmage. Williams waiting for the official to get everyone set. He'll send in Cooper, Cooper says the emotion. Williams will keep it himself though, up the middle and get several. Big host, about 9 yards before he's finally brought to the turf.
Well, again with that, each time with that end around coming, it's got Wenatchee guessing. And with Sisney in motion coming through, the play action, and Williams just keeps the ball. And look how many people it takes to bring down Gage Williams.
Chiawana starting to impose their will along that offensive line. Williams going to keep it himself up the middle. He's got all kinds of open space. Touchdown, Gage Williams. And finally, they've cracked the scoreboard.
And they didn't have to throw. They kept it on the ground, and that's what Chiawana is known for. And it would be Williams with that change back in behind the center, and he just opens up the game. Didn't get a hand on him until he finally hit the goal line.
So Morgan Dodson will come in for the extra point, as Williams now doing his duty by jumping onto the special teams. Blocking along the line. Dodson, the boot. Plenty of leg, and it's good. 7-0 Chiawana with the early advantage. Well, not really so early, but the first advantage of this one. 3:34 to go here in the third. Or in the second. And putting us too far ahead already. So, we'll see if that maybe relaxes the Riverhawks a little bit, or if they have figured out a strategy that could prove fruitful for them.
Well, they're known for keeping the ball on the ground, and they did not need to air anything out. Kept it on the ground, and for the most part, probably half of that, and eventually the closer on the deal was Gage Williams.
Yeah, it really was. Gage Williams, Anthony Godino, and Cooper Sisney taking care of business.
Yep. So Williams, the veteran, coming in, the senior, and we had just finished talking about right before he came in. It's an education, and learning to play in playoff games in whatever sport it is, different than regular season. There's pressure really added in.
I'd imagine we'll still see Emmett Osterdock next time they have the football.
I'm sure we will. But it also takes some pressure off him as well.
Morgan Dodson, who has had his share of touchbacks, kicking it out of the end zone. Tried to get fancy, I think, in the opening kickoff. This time he's just going to boot it deep. That'll go into the end zone and back to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and it really does. I mean, as far as Osterdock, it does. It takes some pressure off him with a veteran coming in there, and William just kind of calming the game down. Okay, we've got a lead now. And it's always easier to play with a lead than play from behind. So it's going to be interesting now, Kevin. Wenatchee, who we were talking about rounds and fights and, into the second round here, and maybe they were leading on points. Well, that's switched now.
Yeah.
You get that first touchdown, and now how are the Panthers going to reply after that Williams drive?
After they've been knocked down and had to get up. So Branham and Mahika in the backfield for Wenatchee. Branham looking over the defense. Going to get blitzed off the right side, going to keep it himself. He's getting dropped for, well, but he's able to break through as the whistles blow and a flag is called.
Yeah, you got one thrown east sideline. So got a little bit going on there.
And there's an injured player. That's Tate and Sisney. His brother Cooper there with him. Those are some of the smartest football kids you'll ever talk to. Always in the right spot and right time.
Well, you can imagine what the dinner table is with both of them playing on the same team. You imagine the football discussions and when they're sitting watching games. And, they'll probably sit together on Sunday and watch the replay of this and then break everything out.
The illegal procedure to call on Wenatchee, and they'll back him up 5. Right now, just hoping Tate is okay.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know if you look at the games, but the game looks different the second time around. Whether you broadcast it or whether you play it, and you see things differently, and you see things you didn't see the first time when you look at it the second and even the third time. And that's how you learn.
That's why they do film. Winner of this game waits until Sunday, and they'll get the opportunity on Sunday to find out where they're going to play and who their opponent will be in the round of 16. This round of 32 has replaced the old district tournament format, so that way you get the same level of district berths into the round of 32, but it's a little bit more open-ended.
Is it a fairer way to do it?
It's not. I think it could be. I think there's a lot of people who are happier with this than maybe with the way it was before.
I mean, you could get a weaker division, get people in, and,
Yeah,
perhaps
and
that's the thinking of that.
Yeah, that happens. It happens all the time in just about every sport with playoffs. Those teams usually get weeded out pretty early. 1st and 15 for Wenatchee. Branham. I send a player in motion. The ball's loose to the turf. And it's Chiawana football. Coming out of it, I think, is Morgan Dodson.
How about that? When you talk about swings in the game and the turn of possession.
That was just some confusion and missed handoff.
So really an opportunity for Chiawana to, in essence, break this game. Really break it wide open here late in the first half. Whoops.
Yeah. Morgan Dodson able just to come out of there with it.
Not sure if somebody hit him or he just dropped the ball.
And just, yeah. Loose. Gage Williams fakes the handoff. Going to keep it himself. Lots of space up in the middle. And one play. Touchdown. Gage Williams.
Well, that calming effect of Gage Williams. What has he done? Taking over.
Thrown in the end zone, though. And you got to feel like that might be some celebration penalty. It looked like Gage Williams was pointing. I thought he was pointing at maybe the photographer down there.
Personal foul?
Oh, it's on Wenatchee. So there'll be offsetting personal fouls after the play.
We'll move on.
Touchdown counts. Penalties are offsetting after the play.
So 2 touchdowns in 31 seconds. And one very big turnover.
Extra point is up. And it's good. So 14-0 after, an unbelievable change. Very quick turn of events. Wenatchee trying to answer, doesn't even get a full play off before they lose control of the football, and Chiawana able to hit Gage Williams to the house.
And this is what great teams do. And it's fair to call Chiawana a great team, where they can swing the momentum at the right time and make big plays. And Williams most certainly spurred the offense, brought it to life. And then a big defensive play and one keeper, and you're in the end zone.
Taking even more pressure off, I think, of Scott Bond is just knowing that this has been working so well. Tonight's game brought to you by Hapo Community Credit Union, proudly supporting the youth in our community. Morgan Dodson will line it up to kick off from the 40-yard line. .303 remaining here in the half. Dodson will boot this one. That one should be returnable. Collected at about the 5-yard line, left side for Russell Cates. Looking for some space up past the 20-25 to just short of the 30-yard line. That's where Wenatchee will start at 1st and 10. And there's a flag.
Yeah, assisting with the tackle, Cooper doing it.
Heard the PA say a flag. Wenatchee might be a little bit of shock. They were going blow for blow right now early on with Chiawana, and then all of a sudden Gage Williams comes in. Oh, personal foul. It's 15 on Chiawana. Well, if you're looking for some level of maybe a break and momentum to get things going, that could be it for the Wenatchee Panthers.
Yeah, I believe it may have been a face mask.
It's indeed the call. Face mask on Chiawana. So it'll be out to the 45-yard line. More great field position for the Panthers. Important drive for Wenatchee. So they got the ball to start the first half, so they will not get it to start the second half. Means Chiawana has it, and he would love to get some points here. As Branham turns, hands the football off. Mojica breaks out of one tackle, but not much going there. Maybe a gain of 2.
Well, with 2:45 and counting left here in the first half, Chiawana scoring twice in 31 seconds. With 3:34 left and then 3:03 left. They're just trying to get the earth back on its axis right now.
Yeah, they got a simple play handed to your reliable running back.
They're not in a bad situation, but they don't need a turnover at this point. So when those get back to the locker room, stay cool. But if you can score, that's great. But if you just keep possession, you're okay.
Branham steps back, looks, going to throw over the middle. Complete. Nice catch there.
Right into double coverage.
Liam Stuber.
Yeah, Stuber somehow came up with that. 6 foot 180. And that was a nice seed thrown as well. Able to pick that into double coverage. Got to throw a bolt of a pass to get that there. Sisney was all over him, too.
For just a heartbeat there, I thought Sisney had stepped in front and we were going to watch him go the other way. But great job. So first down for Wenatchee at the Chiawana 45-yard line. Random, hands off. Mojica, hesitation, then cuts, bounces out left side. He's got a first down and more. Up inside the 35. Mark him down at the 32, 31-yard line. Gain of 14 on the play. Best run of the day for Michael Mojica.
Yeah, Mojica, good gain. Got an extra couple of yards, too, and then angled to the sideline, stepped out at the 31. But a great run, well-timed, and here in the waning moments of this first half, and Wenatchee trying to chip away at that score, down by 14.
Knocked out of bounds by Andre Mayer. So first and 10 from the Chiawana 31-yard line. Ball goes out of bounds, so the clock is stopped. Random steps back, looks, throws, comes to the yard line inside the 25 to about the 24. That pass completed to Stowe McGinnis. A gain of 7.
A quick slant. And
no quick movement on the offense, though, for Wenatchee. Well, quicker than they would normally go, but they're not going no huddle.
Tatum Sisney with the stop. Good to see him back in there.
Handoff, Mojica, left side. Enough for a first down. Inside the 20, inside the 15-10. 5-yard line tackled. A touchdown saving tackle there from Cooper Sisney. It's Mojica.
Well, that's what great runners
16.
do. Yeah, and Mojica. What a great run up that left sideline, and then smelled blood once he hit right around the 20. Had an opportunity. He thought he had a chance to get in the end zone.
Best drive so far by Wenatchee. They have no timeouts remaining as Chiawana will call one. 46.6 to go here in the half. So I'd imagine from the 5-yard line, just probably actually from the 4-yard line, you've got all your playbook open to you, even with little time.
And it's really not a bad timeout for Chiawana. It's a chance. Okay, they're in the red zone. Kind of slow things down. See if you can take the momentum out of them. It's one big defensive play. And that's what Bond is looking for. And gather up the troops. See if they can force a turnover and take over the ball with 46.6 left.
Chiawana Riverhawk Marching Band. Probably can't wait for basketball season when they get to start playing inside again. Much more enjoyable at this time of year. First time out by Chiawana. They have 2 remaining. Wenatchee has no timeouts remaining. Just over 46 seconds to go here in the second quarter. So Wenatchee's had a good mixture of run and pass so far on this drive. Brandon will have Mojica to his right. Double tight end set. The strong side on the right side of the offensive line. There's Branham. And then whistles blow. Taylor. Oh, there was a reset of the clock. Somehow got to 5 minutes. So there was.
Oops.
That was some confusion there. Oh, they wanted 50 seconds on the clock. So rather than 46.6, they wanted 50 seconds on the clock.
There were too many fries in the Happy Meal.
So 50, there we go.
Yeah, we need a little dot there at decimal point. Oops.
That'd have been a wild game. Another 5 minutes left in the first half.
I don't think Wenatchee would have complained. Okay, we'll take that.
So got that figured out. First and goal at the 4. So Brandon will have Mojica to his right. Single receiver on either side. Hands off. Mojica left side. Lowers his shoulder. Bounces his way in. Down at about the 2-yard line. So a gain of a couple. Wenatchee quickly back on the football. Branham, handoff again. Mahika stopped behind the line of scrimmage, bounces out, and there's nobody in front of him at that point. Touchdown, Wenatchee Panthers.
That almost happened in slow motion. Suspended animation as he bounces off the line, kind of stopped, and then gets going. Take a look at this.
Yeah, stop, waits, bounces out, taking Disney, grabbing it air.
What a great read.
And then Gage Williams realizing what's about to happen. It's Michael Mahika gets into the end zone.
Well, how's that for a play of the night?
There you go.
And it was just, there was no real estate.
We did not get a score in this game. The first 21 minutes or so of action. And we've had 3 in the last roughly 3 minutes of action. As the extra point is good.
And a big touchdown it is, 26.1 left. So all this coming in the final 3:34.
So Wenatchee will kick the football away. We'll see how Chiawana, with their 2 timeouts, decides they want to handle this offensively. Do they let Emmett Osterdock throw a couple, see if he can find a rhythm, maybe lead that into the second half, or do you just take your lead, knowing you're getting the football and happy in the locker room?
Well, it's going to be an unusual thing, but I think both teams will be in a good position, and both teams feeling well when they go to the locker room, which sounds strange when you're down. But Chiawana scoring twice here in the last 3.5, and now Wenatchee with the counter punch. And they're going to have to feel really good about that, and that was just a great touchdown by Mahika. Presence of mind and realize, hey, there's nothing here. And we're in the waning moments of this half. I got to do something here. We have no timeouts.
Anthony Garcia to kick for Wenatchee. Angel Colon back to return, as is Cooper Cisney and Jairo Martinez. Boot will go towards the sideline. Cooper Cisney going to pick it up around the 12-yard line, down the right side, up to just short of the 30-yard line. That's where it'll be 1st and 10 with 20 seconds remaining. Osterdock is back out there. So Scott Bond does have the 2 timeouts, and if he can get a couple of big chunk plays, calling timeouts, it gives him some opportunities, or if he can find spaces on the outside, get out of bounds.
Or are you content just to basically run it out?
Or do you just, let the sophomore get some confidence? Just get him back out on the field, say, hey, no, I believe in you. You're going to be fine. Osterdock out of the shotgun, turns, hands the football off. Godino up the middle, lots of space, enough for a first down, out past the 40 to about the 42. And then up past the 45. He doesn't go down quietly all the way up to midfield, very near midfield. It's a gain of 21 on the play.
And they're calling timeout immediately with 9.4 left, and we have a man down on the field as well for Wenatchee.
Not just run by Godino. Oh, I missed something there, but he spun. That's where I thought he would go down, but he just was able to spin out of the tackle.
Yeah, Crutcher had a hold of him, but he didn't have a good hold on him. Was able to slither away. That was the grease pig tackle right there.
And you've got quite a leg on your sideline if you're Chiawana, so if you can get down to maybe the 20-yard line, you may think about trying to kick a field goal.
Yeah, and you've still got that 1 timeout in your hip pocket. Well, they're talking about it right now with the injury to Wenatchee player down.
Yeah, I hope that young man's all right. It's cold weather out here. Everything hurts, I always feel like, a little bit more in cold weather. I don't know how that compares to being on ice like you. If you just get numb to it at some point. This SWX broadcast brought to you by West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery. Bring your company brand to the next level with t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, signs, banners, and more. That's West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery, specializing in seasonal team apparel. Wenatchee Panther players still down at midfield. So a little more time for everyone to collect themselves. Again, just hope the young man there is all right. And he's got a couple of his teammates around him, and they're going to help him up. Oh, that's a huge loss if it's anything. It's Griffin Butler for Wenatchee, and he needs to be helped off the field. Not able to put any pressure on that right foot or right leg.
That is not good at all.
That's their top receiver. So hopefully,
also a key cornerback as well.
Hopefully he's able to bounce back. And maybe Chiawana fans want him healthy, but maybe not for another half an hour. It'll be Osterdock again. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line, just over 9 seconds remaining in the half. See what Coach Scott Bond has dialed up here. Cadino in the backfield. Osterdock turns, fakes the handoff, going to throw. Has to escape some pressure. He's going to throw it out of bounds, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So Osterdock off that left side of the offensive line. Great rush, Wenatchee. That'll bring up the last play of the half, probably. And Wenatchee's going to go ahead and run somebody out way back. Don't know that Osterdock will have the arm to get there, but you always want them there just in case. And to potentially need to run somebody down if running back or whoever breaks through the line.
Yeah, we'll let you have all this space up here, but not this.
We'll see what happens. Final play of the half. Osterdock looks to throw. Going to throw to his left. Caught by Martinez. He's tackled at the 25-yard line. Gain of 26, and that'll be the end of the first half. Our score at half, it's Chiawana 14, Wenatchee 7. We're back with a halftime report. You're watching high school football on SWX. This SWX broadcast brought to you by Gutter Girl for unparalleled water management solutions, from gutter installations, repairs, and cleaning to free inspections and fascia replacement. Call Gutter Girl today. Chiawana Riverhawk dance team just completed a little halftime performance, getting everybody in on the action and keeping themselves warm in a 14-7 round of 32 matchup. Let's check out the highlights from the first half. Really wasn't much for about 75% of that first half. Anthony Godino, again, one of our players to watch. He's elusive and tough. Morgan Dotson making a nice catch there. But really, ultimately, that's really the catch of the night so far, Jairo Martinez. But it would be the Chiawana defense that was able to hold Wenatchee off the scoreboard and just allow, as you can see, the sack there. Gage Williams gets it, and then Michael Mojica, and he would score at some point. But Chiawana able to eventually find their way on the scoreboard. Anthony, you figure he's going to get a healthy dose of the ball starting in this second half. They switched their quarterback, went back to Gage Williams behind center, and it resulted in 2 touchdowns, this being the first one for Gage into the end zone. Then he would get a second one just 31 seconds later. Wenatchee finally gets on the board with Mojica running it in after that little handoff, and then just watch that hesitation. You run into your offensive lineman, bounce it out. You kind of disappear to the defense. Godino there could have potentially maybe been a face mask. I'd have to watch it again. But that is where we are. 14-7 our score. Chiawana gets the ball to start the second half. Take a timeout. But when we come back, we'll get you ready for what's coming up on SWX. You're watching high school football right now, though, on SWX. Luke's Carpet and Design Center is a proud sponsor of tonight's broadcast. With warehouse pricing and experienced designers, brand name flooring including laminates, luxury vinyls, quartz, granites, tile, and hardwoods in stock, find Luke's Carpet and Design Center off Gage Boulevard across from Costco. Coming up on SWX, of course, if you would like to watch a replay of this game, it'll be up on our YouTube channel as well, but it also will happen on Sunday, bright and early. If you want to get up bright and early for that, 6:15 in the morning. Again, this game is also going to live on the YouTube channel, Chiawana versus Wenatchee. Coming up tomorrow, it is the Columbia Basin Youth Football Regional Championship, CBYF, for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. That starts with the broadcast at noon. Craig and I will take you all the way up until the end of that. And then I think I saw the 6th grade game is it Zilla and somebody, and then the 7th and 8th grade games are two MCC related schools. Coming up in a week on Saturday, November 15th, Northern Colorado will be taking on Eastern Washington from Roos Field, the Red Turf, over in Cheney. Then after that, Craig and I again on the air when Penticton travels to the Toyota Center and plays the Tri-City Americans, our first hockey broadcast of the year. If you want to know more about what's going on before that game, it is the Fire and Ice game, the charity donation game for the fire and the police departments of the Tri-City areas. You can check in on that on their social media, and I'm going to reach out to them, get a hold of them, and try to get a story done on that as well sometime this week. A week from Sunday, we'll have the Gonzaga women taking on Stanford. That should be a great matchup there at 2 o'clock on Sunday, November 16th. Take a time out. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half. You're watching high school football on SWX. Back here at Chiawana, or at Edgar Brown Stadium, where Chiawana leads 14-7. This SWX broadcast is sponsored by Yakima Federal Savings and Loan. For 121 years, Yak Fed has kept your money safe and sound while helping neighbors buy homes and building strong communities. Bank better today at Yakima Federal, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Other scores from local teams. Southbridge just scoring a touchdown at Mount Spokane. They lead 7-0. Getting near the midpoint of the second quarter. Last I saw, no score over at Fran Rish. 0-0 between Richland and Mount Si. Sunnyside getting the beaten down, unfortunately, from Gonzaga Prep, who was up just under 40 points at halftime over in Spokane. Meanwhile, Prosser Mustangs have a lead on North Mason. I think that's a couple score lead there. I had the score there for a second, and then it moved. And then over at the Toyota Center, the Tri-City Americans taking on the Vancouver Giants. It is 1-1. Kevin Garland scoring a touchdown there for the AMs.
A touchdown?
Sorry, did I say a touchdown? A goal. This is why I got to get football.
It's like a touchdown.
I got to get football out of my system before next Saturday. Very clearly, you'll be the one that does all the work, and just make sure that hopefully I don't get in the way or hit by a puck. That's my entire goal.
I'm excited to see Penticton. It'll be the first regular season matchup between the teams in history.
Yeah, the Penticton for many, many, many years. The V's part of the BCHL
and
along with the
every
Wenatchee
year.
Wild.
Yeah,
and they were
every year.
one of the best teams in the BCHL every year.
Always.
And now them, Wenatchee Wild, the others are making their way over to the Western Hockey League.
A lot of big names of the NHL. Cale Makar comes to mind with Colorado.
Yeah.
Maybe the best young defenseman in the game and could shoot about 300 miles an hour from point. But that's where he played and went on to college hockey.
Yep, they love their hockey in Penticton, too.
Beautiful rink, too. Just OVG runs that building, and it's a $100 million building right on the lake.
Some folks out here braving the cold weather as we will take a timeout. 14-7, the Chiawana lead. When we come back, we'll have kickoff in the third quarter.
It's warmer over there, I guess.
Maybe it is. We'll leave under the blankets, maybe. You're watching high school football on SWX. Krigler Insurance Agency is proud to be part of high school football this year on SWX. Decades of experience, personalized service, located in the Uptown Shopping Center in Richland. For home, auto, RV, boat, and ATVs. Isn't it time you went with CIA? Krigler Insurance Agency, 509-946-4620. 14-7 our score. Wenatchee Panthers will be kicking the football off to Chiawana as both teams try to hype themselves up. And we don't do spreads in high school football, but I feel like this game has been a little closer than maybe we would have thought, certainly based on the seeding. But Chiawana getting a 5 seed.
That's why they play the games.
But that is why they play the games.
Well, definitely calming the game down once he went in with his experience, the senior. Gage Williams really changed the pace of the game.
So, yeah, he really did. He offered them a real threat. And Wenatchee didn't entirely know how to handle that RPO, which really didn't include much of the P part of it. It was really just run options. They're either doing jet sweep or quarterback keeper up the gut.
Yeah, never put the ball in the air. Everything was on the ground. End around the sweeps, left and right.
I was giving him
And then
at
keepers.
the beginning of the year because he was a starting quarterback. I walked up to him before the first game because I was here filming for that first game, and I said, "Are they going to let you throw this year?" He goes, "Oh yeah, they're going to let me throw." He did. He had a pretty nice year. Just, I think he wanted to focus on helping the team in other ways. So Emmett Osterdock takes over behind center.
I think the thing I like about him, very versatile.
Yes.
And I would have safe to say that Bond would feel the same way, where you feel safe in whatever situation you use him in, that he's going to succeed. Big man, 6'4", 230, but plays with calm.
Heck of a post player, all-league MCC basketball player too. Not that he's in any real big hurry to get to that. Anthony Garcia will kick the football off for Wenatchee. Back deepest to receive is Angel Cologne. As we get underway here to begin the third quarter, Chiawana, the navy blue tops, Wenatchee the white tops. Going to go all the way into the end zone where Cologne will have a touchback called on him. And so 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Chiawana.
Yeah, no choice running it out in high school football. As soon as you hit that plane of the goal line, take a steps in, and that's it.
I think Cologne is, what did I see, is one of only 2 players in the MCC that has a return for a touchdown. Yeah, I think he's, no, one of 3. Along with Mason Severson and Kamayakin and Matt out of Walla Walla.
I'm still trying to figure out the NFL kickoffs. I'm sure there's a reason for it.
Hand off, Godino up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, finding some space out past the 30, and gets enough for a first down on that first play, gain of 12.
Yeah, actually that hit by Matt Wilson knocked him an extra couple of yards and enough to give him the first down.
So watch that. Slips out of that tackle right there, and then finally goes down, not before getting him first. Fake the handoff. Osterdock throws. Right side. Sawyer Somerville steps out of a tackle up past the 45. Knocked out of bounds. Another first down. That'll be a gain of 14.
Mahika with the tackle. Just kind of sits him down over on the sideline, but ball approaching midfield. Ball at the 47-yard line of Chiawana.
So 2 plays and 27 yards right off the bat. Handoff now. Cisney going to bounce it outside. Cuts in, then past the 40 there. This is the Chiawana offense maybe we were expecting from the get-go. It just took them a half.
Yep.
They find their rhythm.
Well, chasing was John Gutzweiler and spun him out of bounds. Really just kind of slowed him down more than anything.
So quickly in 3 plays are already in Wenatchee territory on the 35-yard line. Handoff Cisney again. Starts right, bounces up the middle, spins out of a tackle, down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 6. So Cooper Cisney.
I get a feeling with the way that Riverhawks have come out in this second half, we're going to see a much different Riverhawk team here in the second 24 than in the first 24.
Yeah, it was a team that almost felt lost or just confused or something in that first half until they finally got to Gage and things started to roll their way. Godino, right side hole. Huge hole inside the 20, 15, 10 where he's knocked out of bounds around the 5-yard line. Gain of 24, 23.
Yeah, that was the last resort. Ezekiel Tapia was the last resort, able to get down and knock him out of bounds. And he had to angle and come over. A little geometry hit right there. Shortest distance. Came across, took him right out of bounds.
So in just 4 plays, they're already at the Wenatchee 6. Handoff Godino. Tripped up in the backfield and dropped for a loss by Mojica. That'll be back to bring up second and goal.
Yeah, good read. Mahika in there busting in. Blitzing through and able to upend and take down Godino.
You're in a personnel change. Osterdock will come to the sideline. Gage Williams will go back in at quarterback. Second and goal from the 8. Send Cooper Sisney in motion. Fakes the handoff. Keeps it himself up the middle. Gage Williams again. He's going to be knocking on the door, but coming up just short by a yard. That'll bring up third and goal.
Yeah, with his size, he's hard to control. And Bond realizes that, and that's what has been the game changer. That size of his. And they just have not had an answer on the Wenatchee side.
And now they're going to go big up front. Gage Williams loses the football temporarily. Has to fall on it. Does so at the 3. And that'll be a loss of 2 and bring up fourth and goal.
Well, do you take the points? You certainly have Dodson who can put up 3 without a problem.
Yeah, fourth and goal from the 4. That is the kink right there that Coach Scott Bond did not want.
And they're going to go for it.
Offense remains on along with Gage Williams. Tatum Sisney will roll out. Gage loses the ball again. Lowers his shoulder after he collects it. I think he's going to be short. So I'm not sure exactly where the fault will lie there. Don't look at that on the tape, but Wenatchee gets a huge stop after it. Looked like Chiawana was just going to run right down their throats and score.
And we'll see how Wenatchee plays that. Absolutely fabulous for them. And able to just let the air out of the Chiawana balloon. A couple of huge plays. And that one on fourth down.
Yeah, just couldn't handle either snap on third or fourth down particularly
couldn't
cleanly.
do. It was a low snap out of the shotgun. Right off around the shoelaces. That was it.
So first and 10 from their own 2-yard line for Wenatchee. Chiawana licking their chops here, though, looking for 2 points. And they love themselves a safety. We'll see how Wenatchee decides to handle it. Brandon goes under center. Mahika in behind him in the backfield. Mahika hands it off, but they nearly lost the handoff there. Slowed everything down and nothing on going.
Yeah, not an enviable position. You're working out of the end zone, really on the goal line, and this is where it's intimidating to have that football. Able to pick up a little bit. You've got 3 yards breather, but a lot of that's taken up by the line of scrimmage, so you're still pretty much lined up back in the end zone.
Yeah, Cole Gallagher in on that tackle. Now they're going to go shotgun with Branham. He's going to look to throw over the middle. And it's caught. Or no, incomplete. Now to bring up third down.
Yeah, this is a scary situation. Wenatchee. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that Chiawana did what they did, even if they realized they're going to turn the ball over, how deep it was going to be in Wenatchee territory and put them in not an enviable position. And the last thing they want to do is punt out of the end zone.
Branham out of the shotgun. Going to roll to his right. Throws. Intercepted. Jairo Martinez, pick 6, Chiawana. I think I saw a flag come in late as well. So Chiawana loves to put the defenders or put the other team back deep and see if they can find points to score. Personal foul called on Wenatchee. So they're going to explain the options to Coach Scott Bond. I think he's going to assess it on the kickoff. So 8:18 to go here in the third. Jairo Martinez takes it to the house with a pick 6. Martinez, 5'10", senior. One of the many receiver options. Morgan Dodson down to kick the extra point. He's going to be able to have a whole lot of fun on the kickoff if he gets a free 15 and essentially kicks it from the Wenatchee side of the field. Extra Point is up, and it is good. Like I saw online, he's surpassed now 100 consecutive extra points that he's made. He's just automatic. He just don't miss. And you can see Jairo Martinez stepping in front of the intended pass. They were looking for Stowe McGinnis. Instead, Chiawana gets 7 anyways. So 21-7 our score. Chiawana now a couple score lead. They're going to kick the football off. And again, they'll assess the penalty after the kickoff, or before the kickoff. So they do have to go through the motions, lining up at the 40, indicating that there's a penalty with a personal foul on Wenatchee. Blow to the head. So they will move them up 15 at the 45-yard line. I wonder if Morgan's going to try to hit our cameraman Scott. That's an interesting target down there.
Be a bit better thing to try and hit those lights that he has.
Yeah, it could be. I think this is where the kicker is. As you can see Scott there.
Scott, show us the lights.
Well, you'll see them later.
Give us your Schwartz lights there.
We'll see them a little bit later. But this is where usually the kickers try to kick it a field goal. They try to get it through the uprights. Or they pop it up, since they're going to be able to get down there so quickly. You can get it up high, give your... Oh, it's going to be an onside kick, and Wenatchee able to get on top of it.
Yeah, I think he hit the top of the ball. I don't think that's where he wanted to go. I actually kind of, on the kick as he stutter stepped, kind of caught the turf. So he really didn't hit it the way he wanted to do it. They practiced that.
Yeah,
in those onside kicks.
He started almost like it was going to be a regular kick, then sort of, sidestepped it, tried to get into a position for an onside kick, and so it actually ends up being a break for Wenatchee. Great heads-up play by the Wenatchee return team, as they now have the ball at their own 35-yard line. Could have been far worse.
Was it now in the NFL, you have to go to the Justice Department to ask if you can do an onside kick?
Yeah, that's... and yet there was somebody who in the last couple of weeks was successful on their onside kick. You have to announce it, and yet they were still able to execute it, so...
Yeah, you got to tell everybody, hey, we're going for an onside kick here.
Branham hands off. Mojica finds some space off the left-hand side. Trying to get out of a Gage Williams tackle, and does. And then Cole Gallagher makes the tackle. So a gain of 4 on the play for Mojica.
Somehow Wenatchee lost a point. Still trying to figure that out. Maybe that was on the interception. It fell off. Not sure what happened, but it should be 7.
Yeah, 21-7 is our score. And there you can see Gage Williamson, the guy trying to block him. 2nd and 6. Branham fakes the handoff. He's going to throw a little swing pass outside, and
here come the flags.
And flags coming in complete on the pass.
They've caught the thief. We've got our point back.
Chris Neesham will give us the call. Personal foul, roughing the passer. So now 15 yards for Wenatchee, and just like that, after the pick 6, and things were looking dire, they're in Chiawana territory. Gage Williams there overgetting the conversation with one of the officials. The ball placed at the 46-yard line of the Riverhawks. 7:34 to go here in the third. Chiawana 21. Wenatchee 7. Winner moves on to the round of 16. Brackets to be announced on Sunday. Loser gets ready for basketball. And off. Mojica. He's spun down and dropped in the backfield. In on the tackle there is Cole Holtgren. Causing the loss of 3.
And Chiawana not only starting to feel it as far as the offensive end of the ball, but the defensive end. They're starting to get their swagger, most certainly.
Yeah, I would imagine that once the scores started to pile on for them, that defense, and then the pick 6 happens, and you're starting to feel really good about how things are going. 2nd and 13 for Wenatchee. Branham steps back, looks to his right, throws in behind his receiver and incomplete.
That's Sisney again. Good coverage. Gave us something to think about. Pass intended for Mike and Nell. Big target at 6'4". But Sisney got in the way. Gave him something to think about.
So 3rd down now, yeah, 3rd down and 13 for Wenatchee. Brandon will run in, gets the play call from the sidelines. Important drive here for Wenatchee. Chiawana starting to execute offensively. Branham steps back, going to run a little screen pass to Mojica. Gets through a couple of defenders. Now he's trying to find space in the middle of the field, up to about the 40-yard line. And that'll bring up 4th down and 4.
Yeah, no question. Mojica really impresses me. Not the biggest guy, but he's a very creative runner. And once he gets that ball, he trusts his blockers immensely, and then we'll follow. A lot of guys like to improvise when they get out there, but here he follows the block, able to get in between 2 more, and then picks up an extra 5 yards. That's a great run.
Martinez in on the tackle there for Chiawana. 4th and 5 now for the Panthers. Branham takes a snap, looks to his right, throws almost like a no-look, incomplete. And flag on the play. That was kind of an interesting. He looked like he was going to throw a short, way right, kind of outright pass, and then I saw Matthew Stafford do it this past Sunday. No flag on the play. So 1st down Chiawana after the turnover on downs. Would have thrown around the area where you might have expected pass interference of some sort. Instead, it'll be Chiawana football at the 41. Take time out. When we come back, we'll have the Riverhawks possession. Score 21-7. Chiawana watching high school football on SWX.
Oh. We just tried to make it funny. Kevin did tell you that it didn't change. Kevin made the comment. He did do it. Yeah, so we just figured we'd have fun with it. Somebody stole it.
Calling all fall fanatics, the new DQ Fall Treat menu is here. Enjoy the new caramel toffee cookie blizzard treat, pumpkin pie blizzard treat, and our new maple cookie shake. Get them delivered in the DQ app where happy tastes good. Scores around the way. Southridge 7, Mount Spokane 7. That game's reached halftime. Prosser up 35-14. Tri-City Americans 2, and the Vancouver Giants 2. Don't forget, we'll have the Tri-City Americans and Penticton V's next Saturday. It is law enforcement or public responders, first responders appreciation night.
Yeah, they'll be playing at 4 o'clock before the game.
The Fire and Ice game. Osterdock throws outside, complete. Up past the 50-yard line. That'll be close to a first down.
I'll be up in the PA booth beforehand and head on to TV for the nightcap, but it's always fun. The Fire, though, have been clobbering the Police here of late.
Police won the first 3. Fire have won the last 2 and done in pretty convincing fashion.
Yeah, Shannon Singh has had a shutout 2 of the last 3 years, and he gave up 1 last year. He's down playing in Vegas this weekend in net for the Fire team down there, first responders tournament they're having.
Hand off, Godino, left side, up the middle, up inside the 40-yard line, down to the 39. That's a gain of 11 for Anthony Godino.
Here I'm giving the Police a little scouting report, what's going on against their opponent.
You are equal opportunity scouter for both of these sides, that's for sure. You're more than happy to help them understand what's about to happen. Yep. They're playing it significantly earlier this year.
Yeah, about 3 months earlier.
Yeah, usually it's... so we will actually have technically 2 Fire and Ice games in 2025.
You're right.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line for Chiawana. Handoff, Cooper Sisney. Hesitation, then bouncing his way down to about the 45-yard line, gain of 4.
You know what I think is cool is with the expedience of this game, I'll be able to see the end of that game, at least the third period, barring any overtime action in this.
If you manifest that, I just want a good game. That's overtime, then I'm happy to have it.
Would it be interesting to see if I can find my way onto the broadcast and do 2 sports in the same night?
Watch the Tri-City Americans on Victory Plus. Take the pitch. Osterdock, now he's in a whole bunches of trouble. He throws it, caught by Cooper Zisney, though. The emergency pull in case of emergency. Gets him first down territory inside the 20. Down to the 17-yard line.
That means you can set in the exit row on the plane right there. You're the guy that can pull that. And he had the presence of mind to know where that first down stick was, too.
Yeah, Cooper Sisney's like, hey, I'm right here. And then that one missed tackle opens the door.
And he had maybe a yard to spare before he got to that stick where the down marker was.
So now into the red zone. First and 10 at the 17. Osterdock, hands off. Right side, Godino, lots of room there, inside the 5, down to the market right at the 5. It's a gain of 12 and a first down.
Yeah, you can just see now that Chiawana's got the car firing on all cylinders right now. They've really got the mix of run and pass. Right now, not worried about a pass. They're just worried about that effective running game, and they're picking up yards in chunks.
So Osterdock out of the shotgun, turns, hands the football off to Godino. Up the middle, he's going to get a couple down to the 2, gain of 3. I have him into triple digits, past 100 yards rushing, though my numbers are always unofficial.
Call it an educated guess.
There you go. That's as much as I can offer you at this point. Second leading rusher in the MCC behind Gabe Borsch, who for the second year in a row is your top rusher in the MCC. Godino, handoff, this time up the middle. They're going to say he's just short, I believe. I don't see any indication otherwise. So it's a gain of a yard and a half, and to bring up third down.
Third and goal at about the 1.5, it looks like.
And I think it's the half. I think it is the half. And so Gage Williams and the jumbo package will be out there now. Gage going for number 3 on the day. He'll keep it himself. A little over the top, Kurt Warner style. Gets into the end zone for 6. Gage Williams expanding the Chiawana lead. .317 to go here in the third.
Williams has got a triple going. 3 touchdown runs.
Hat trick, I believe you could say.
You can. We're just getting over the World Series. We'll call it a triple.
So Morgan Dodson out there. Tatum Sisney will have the hold. And then a kind of a land of confusion there as Flag comes in. I think that's going to be a false start on Chiawana. Back him up 5 to kick the extra point.
So we'll have to hit the reset button.
Still well within Morgan Dodson's range. 27-7 our score.
That's kind of interesting now. That makes it a 25-yard extra point.
Yep. Plenty of leg from Morgan Dotson. That's not going to be the question. But it does start to narrow a little bit the angle that you can get to. But I'll go to University of Montana and make over 100 extra points in a row. By making it an adventure as that goes straight through. So 28-7 our score, Chiawana. And the Riverhawks starting to expand. So Wenatchee facing a pivotal drive with just 3:17 to go in the third. As the Riverhawk cheer squads and the Riverhawk band celebrating along with Chiawana students, all braving this cold weather, even seeing some good folks from Wenatchee area.
With all these guys going over to Montana, I think it's safe to say sometime in the next 4 years I'll be making a trip over and probably see them all play.
Yeah.
So I'll go see my niece's kid play. Got to make at least one trip over to Missoula. You know, I've never been to Montana.
Really? I've been to Montana many times.
By the border, I didn't drive in. One state I haven't been to.
My father grew up in Montana on the very eastern border of Montana. His father moved there. And his grandfather lived not too far away in North Dakota. And so, yeah, no, I spent many a Christmas and other times going. I've been to Montana when it was 27 below, and I've been to Montana when it's 110. So I've gotten both experiences of Montana. That kick will go out of bounds. And
I've had plenty of 110s here and in other states, but I've had a 126 one time, too. We couldn't have planes take off in Palm Springs.
Yeah, that sounds like Palm Springs for you.
We had to get 2 pitchers in with the Palm Springs Angels, the Cal League. And they had to send him in on the bus on a Greyhound. They couldn't fly him out of Phoenix. It was 127. You couldn't get lift on the plane. Couldn't fly.
So the kickoff goes out of bounds, which means Wenatchee will start at their own 35-yard line. That's the one thing that has been consistent today for the Panthers. They've had pretty good starting field position. Just as Chiawana defense is what the Riverhawks defense always seems to be. That is a very difficult team to scheme against and execute against. Ran him out of the shotgun. Steps back, looks, throws, and incomplete to McGinnis. That'll bring up second down.
Just a quick slant that, and the coverage outstanding. Nowhere to go. Gavin Naif here to seal things up. We can feel some of the desperation, the hope that Wenatchee had in the first half. That's just kind of going out the door right now.
Yeah, they had to feel good going into the halftime, and then even coming out half.
No question.
They stopped essentially a goal line stand. Branham hands the football off. Mojica up to about the 40-yard line, battling his way. And he'll get up to one official on the 41. That's where they'll mark it for gain of 6.
Now, we don't know what's going on in the other games. We know scores. We don't know what people are doing. But it's going to be hard for me to fathom anybody's had a bigger night than Williams has had.
It's a little difficult to think that anybody would have done more to help his team win right now than Gage Williams.
And he's done it on the defensive end and on the offensive side of the ball. And most certainly on the offensive side of the ball.
Richland up 17-0 on Mount Si. That game. Over at Fran Risch. Brandon pump fake and caught by Walker. Josiah Walker makes the catch. That'll be a first down inside or on the Chiawana side of the field at the 45-yard line.
Ball had a little zip on it and throws into coverage.
Yeah, the pump fake, I think he got a safety moving some other way, but he still threw it into what amounted to almost 3 or 4 Chiawana Riverhawks all in that same area. So it was a great throw by Ryan Branham.
Yeah, he had Sisney and Mir both there on the coverage.
So 1st and 10 now at the Chiawana 45. Wenatchee wants to get into this game. They need to find some way into the end zone soon, as Mahika will end up losing a yard on that carry. Brings up 2nd and 11 for Wenatchee. Minute 40 to go here in the third. The winner to the round of 16 next week. Loser. Season comes to a conclusion. Panthers, the 4th seed out of the Big Nine, behind Moses Lake, Eastmont, and Sunnyside. Sunnyside losing to Gonzaga Prep tonight as Branham pump fakes again. He's going to try a little pump and go. Caught on the sideline. Great job. Great catch by Micah Nell. Fake the short. Wants the defender step up and then just drop it in a bucket. It's Micah Nell, you can see, out in front of his defender.
Absolutely perfect pass. And then holding on for dear life was Gallagher.
Yeah, saving a touchdown at that point. So 1st and goal at the 5 for the Panthers. Mahika in the backfield with Branham. Josiah Walker out wide right. Nell wide left. Handoff Mahika. Finds some space up the middle, but he's going to get tackled at the 1. Gain of 4.
Well, credit Wenatchee doing everything to stay in this game, as they have not backed down at all.
Now they're not folding up their tents and getting ready for the bus. They're going to battle all the way to the end here. On the road, 2 hours or so from home. As now they're going to have 2 backs in the backfield with Branham. Going to hand it off. Mahika, left side. Lowers his shoulder. And he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Wenatchee. Michael Mahika from a yard out.
His 2nd touchdown.
Watches kind of works his way through that line, finding the space. And Gage Williams, Cooper Sidney not able to prevent it. So now the lead will be down to 14. So 2 possession game for Wenatchee if their defense can make a stop here. So Anthony Garcia out to kick the extra point. And there's a bit of a botch snap there. So Brandon going to try to run it in. And I think there's a flag that comes in. You'll see that flag thrown right there. So Brandon gets into the end zone. We'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right there, Kevin. A lot going on.
And that's going to be on Wenatchee. The sideline warning is, I believe, the call. He did offer to give us one of these little cards that tells us what he's doing. So they'll retry. Usually in that one, you have kind of arms wide, push them forward a little bit. I thought that was sideline warning.
I asked him if he had Powerball numbers. Hey, the pot's pretty good. It's about $900 million. You want in?
Hey, I'm happy
But
to.
you can't quit your day job.
That's true. So I'll back it up, and just like the other way, a little bit longer extra point attempt here.
Yeah, we don't like quitters. You got to stay and work.
I'm always happy to come out and do an SWX broadcast, that's for sure. So we'll see how the snap handles this time around. That one is up and good. So 28-14 our score with just under 17 seconds remaining in the third. Now it's Wenatchee's defense that needs to make a stop, and Chiawana, long sustained drive that they end up at 6. Very easily could close this one out.
Well, the game stays interesting. Really a great drive for Wenatchee. And you look at turning points, and that certainly was a turning point in the game. You got to stay in it. If you don't score, it can certainly go south really quick. You stay in it, 14-point game, and anything can happen.
Exactly, and the way that Chiawana's offense has started to roll, you're in a situation where you have to start scoring.
Well, and this is where Bond has to start thinking about, well, how are we going to do this? Do we really want to put the ball in the air? Do we keep it on the ground? We want to turn it into a possession game. There's no question. And let that clock run.
Talking to him before the game, I was joking with him about how these are two teams that want to run the ball, and he goes, yeah, I mean, we want to throw it too. He goes, we just got to make catches. Just got to throw it better. The pass game has to improve.
But definitely it's been the running game there in the second quarter that turned the game.
3 rushing touchdowns for Chiawana, all by Gage Williams. They also have that pick 6 by Jairo Martinez.
That's always the cherry on top of the sundae when you get that pick. Get 6 points out of it.
Angel Colon running over, trying to run down the football. It'll go out through the end zone and be a touchback. So 1st and 10 at the 20.
So 16.9 to go here in the third. Might be the only play we're going to see.
Yeah, I can see a handoff. Godino, let him run, see if he can get a first down and get us to the fourth quarter. No, Chiawana looking to the side. Getting call. Osterdock in the backfield with Anthony Godino. Wenatchee has a late addition to their defense. Osterdock, pitch. It's going to be Somerville, left-hand side, finding some space up past the 40, or past the 35 to the 40. He'll be tackled at the 39-yard line, gain of 19 for Sawyer Somerville.
Well, that'll stop the clock to move the chains and then start up as soon as they are, and that'll be the final play of the third.
So at the end of the third, it's Chiawana 28, Wenatchee 14. We'll take a timeout. Fourth quarter next. You're watching high school football on SWX. Tonight's game sponsored by your local coastal country lifestyle superstore in Yakima. For your family, yard, home, animals, and ranch, Coastal is just what the country needs. Score for those of you who are Wenatchee folks, Eastmont trailing at halftime 48-0 against Sumner, the defending state champions. So it looks like Eastmont maybe not going to be able to move on to the round of 16. First and 10, Chiawana, their own 38-yard line. Osterdock hands off. Godino slips out of one tackle up past the 40 to the 41 for a gain of 3 and bring up second down.
Right now, this is what you call managing the football.
Yeah, just get your yards, keep the clock moving. Godino had something going on with his shoe, so Cooper Cisney will come in.
Nor will they be in a hurry
to
manage the football.
So they're not letting the clock run down too far. So they hike that with 12 to go on the play clock. And Osterdock going to throw deep. And incomplete. Intended for Sean Ramin. And knocked away by Thomas Matheson.
Yeah, throw a little bit short. Turn around trying to catch that ball. And a little bit more on that, you might have 6. But came up just a tad bit short.
So 3rd and 7 now for Chiawana. Big opportunity here if you're the Wenatchee Panthers as Osterdock steps back. He's going to run a little screen pass. Caught to Cologne. He's finding some space open on the left-hand side. He's got an escort down the sideline. Angel Cologne down inside the 20 to the 15.
Well, that's a pass that went about 5 yards that turned in to about 40.
45 for Angel Cologne. But everybody coming back.
Yeah, one of those big yellow markers down on the field. Yeah, just a short little out pass.
But it's all for naught. Holding on Chiawana. The foul occurred at the 50, so it'll back it up to the 40, so it ends up being a loss of a yard. And it'll bring up 3rd and 8. And Chiawana flute section, clarinets. Trying to keep warm. This is when you start cheering loudly because that's the only way to keep warm.
I just checked, it was 48 degrees. Coat night.
3rd and 8 now for Chiawana. Osterdock steps back, looks. He's going to throw one deep for Cologne. He's beating his man. And he makes the catch. Down at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 40 for Angel Cologne, so he had 45 taken away. He comes back and gets 40.
Well, how about that? Good on both ends of the ball. Osterdock, look at that. Perfect spiral. And at the other end, there's Cologne.
So 1st and 10 now at the Wenatchee 20-yard line. Godino in the backfield with Osterdock. Ramin out wide right. Martinez out wide left. Handoff Godino. Up the middle, finding some space. Gets about 4 before he's dropped by Liam Stuber.
And Stuber just got him at the last second. Might have grabbed his shoelace right there as he was dancing by.
Chiawana quickly on the ball. It'll be Godino again in the backfield. Handoff again. Godino loses the football. Osterdock has to jump on top of it. That very easily could have been a turnover to Wenatchee. Osterdock able to jump on the football.
Yeah, a rare moment as the Riverhawks have not turned the ball over in this game. With a miscue and whoops.
And you can see the Wenatchee defender right there. He just misses the football as Osterdock jumps on it.
Got his left hand on it, but Godino left the ball back behind him. Kind of got caught up with the ball in his hip. So did the flyby handoff and whoops.
Now to bring up 3rd and 8 for Chiawana. Send Dodson from left to right across the line. Osadok. As a whistle blows, the play dead.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, that fumble kind of reminded me of the kitchen moment with the kids when they're little. You hear that, oops, oops.
False start, Chiawana.
That's, if you're a new parent, oops. You kind of tiptoe in, what do we got going on in here? Oops.
3rd and 13 for the Riverhawks. Osterdock out of the shotgun with Cooper Cisney to his left. Hands the football off Cisney, looking for space on the right-hand side. He's going to get a few. Actually, he's going to get nearly the whole lot. It's finally spun down after a gain of 12.
Yeah, Cisney doesn't volunteer to go down, does he?
No, he isn't all that interested in being tackled. So that'll bring in the short yardage unit on this 4th and 1.
Well, that means Williams is in.
And they're actually going to have receivers out wide. As Williams fakes the handoff to Godino. Gets in, enough for a first down. Inside the 10, down to about the 7.
That's interesting. And Wenatchee knows exactly what's coming. Cannonball coming.
Well, it'd be
We're at
interesting
number
to see
15.
if he hands off at one point out of that play, because he's doing the fake handoff. He did a little bit early on, but he hasn't recently. I'll let Gage go back out there, quarterback, looking for the quartet. Williams fakes the handoff, then he stumbles his way inside the 5 to the 4.
Yeah, basically just saying, here, stop him.
Yeah.
Can you stop him? And he's going for touchdown number 4. He's going for that Al Bundy game.
Yes, from Polk High. Again, Chiawana on the ball quickly.
Didn't he do it in the playoffs, too?
I don't remember.
I think it was.
Williams fakes the handoff. Going to go off left-hand side. Find his way into the end zone. Gage Williams, number 4, and then a personal foul penalty on Wenatchee after the play. And that is not a good look for the Chiawana Riverhawks. Frustration from Wenatchee. No need for that, though. As Gage scores from 4 yards out. His 4th touchdown of the game. Now everything, he's clapping, cheering.
He'll shake that off.
And so with 7:25 to go here in the game.
Although he's kind of favoring that leg.
I'd be interested at this point if you're Scott Bond. You might take him out of this one. Personal foul on Wenatchee, and that'll be assessed on the kickoff. Yeah, and there comes Gage out of this one. This might be the last we see of Gage Williams tonight. 3 touchdown lead, 7:25 to go.
Yeah, he's done enough in this game, and see you next Friday night.
Yeah, he's going to want to be back out there, but you just don't need to risk it, I think, if you're Scott Bond. But we'll see. That's why he's the coach, and I'm up here opining.
Well, Williams might want to go back in, too.
Yeah, I know he's going to want to go back in. Whether he'll be allowed back in, that is the question. The extra point from Dodson's up, and it is good. 35-14 our score. Chiawana continues to pick up the offense after a little over a quarter and a half where they couldn't really find any rhythm offensively. Now they've gotten 35 scoring touchdowns in their last 4 possessions. And there you can watch Gage Williams go in there, and he's in the end zone. And then there's kind of the late tackle, and that's, if you're the defensive lineman, it's maybe not egregious, but it is late.
Yeah, he knew exactly where that stripe was. Knew he was in the end zone and reached out. And the official knew it too, and that's why that flag came out.
So we'll see if Chiawana tries their onside kick thing again.
I would not think so at this point.
I would imagine not.
I think they'll be trying to pound the ball away.
Unless they want Morgan Dodson to just practice it or something.
Might kick a squibber.
Yeah.
Short kick.
I always like the pop-up kick
But
if you can get it
Yeah,
up
you're
high.
kicking. It's not a bad idea here. You're kicking now from the 45-yard line.
Yeah. of Wenatchee.
Yes. So it does get you thinking here. And that would pretty much, if the game isn't sealed, that would certainly send it swirling for sure.
So, another opportunity from the Wenatchee 45 for Chiawana for a second personal foul. This time he looks like he's not going to try to hide the fact that he's doing an onside kick. And it goes out of bounds. So it'll be at the 35 again. You know, if nothing else, I say this is what I would think that maybe they're trying to do is you don't know when you might need that. So they're not. It's not a.
You're not showing anything.
You're not trying to pile up on Wenatchee. What you're trying to do is be ready for a state playoff game in which potentially you're in a situation where maybe you need an onside kick to execute.
Well, whoever you're playing next week and down the road is going to be looking at everything you do.
Yeah. That's the other thing, too. Is you're showing something that maybe even if you don't have a ton of intention to do anything
There's no
with it.
secrets. You know, it was the football, let's be honest, it was the first sport to actually trade video, going way back. Way back, before the other sports. You know, hockey didn't even do it until the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Where they traded videotape, VCR tapes. And I remember the exchange. Can we set our recorder up here? We'll do it for you. Okay. And it was kind of involuntary. I think Portland was one of the first ones. And then I remember asking Brian Maxwell in Spokane, well, can we do it there? Yeah. And that's really how it came about. And then teams started trading tapes. Didn't have the video. You didn't have the online. You know, it didn't have any of that until really about 2000.
Random throws. Caught. Stuber out. Getting up past into midfield and that to the 48-yard line. Nice catch by Liam Stuber. A little slant route that turned into so much more, a la the Jerry Rice era San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, in the old days, you'd have to get you'd get video film sent to you. And then you, in turn, would send your film to the opposition. You'd break yours out and get it back and forth. Somehow we survived. We had games. You know, we figured a way. He had scouts go to games and write reports. And I've done that.
1st and 10 from the 49. Branham throws short of his intended receiver, Mike Nell.
Yeah, scouting reports, I've written a few of those. You have 5 or 10 pages where you're doing everything from, let's say, face-offs and whatever. You know, if it's, you know, how they do a trap, and it can get a little involved. Baseball's the same way, you know, what patterns of what guys pitch, and football as well.
Now it's all on the computer.
Yeah. They chart it all, and they have a kid sit there and input. And
2nd and 10 from the Chiawana 49 for Wenatchee. Branham, step back, looks, and Morgan Dotson hits his arm, and it's a fumble recovered by Dotson. He's going to try to battle his way, gets inside the 40-yard line, and Chiawana's defense with another turnover.
That's 2 today that they've forced.
Morgan Dotson, the fumble force and the fumble recovery. And we'll see what the ultimate call is. I think the officials are going to get together.
Yeah, it was his arm coming forward. That's going to be the question.
So Chris Neesham trying to tell the Chiawana defense, like, hey, we're going to have this conversation. We're going to try to see what we saw.
We know what you think, and we're going to talk about this.
And you can see the arm throwing motion there from one of the officials. No, they're going to say it is a fumble. Chiawana football, so Morgan Dotson, he'll get credit. Fumble force, fumble recovery.
You're talking about analytics. Did you see the new general manager hired for the Colorado Rockies? That's the fat kid in Moneyball.
Yep.
The fat kid is their new GM to turn it around after the damage that has been done
to the
Cleveland
Rockets.
Browns. So he's going from baseball to football, from the Browns to the Rockies, who might be the Browns of baseball.
Gage Williams back in the game at tight end as they're going to hand it off to a wide receiver. A little end around look up to about the 32-yard line. That's Ender Douglas.
Except
on the
Jonah
carry.
Hill. Jonah Hill is not going to play the part of the GM.
No, and Jonah Hill was really an amalgamation of about 3 or 4 different guys. If you've ever read Moneyball, the book, there was a lot more people involved
Oh yeah, there
in
were a
that
lot
process.
of people figured in. Yeah.
So Andrew Douglas gets about 7 on that play.
Teams have whole floors now of analytics people.
Yeah, if you're going to college, you love statistics in baseball.
Yeah, the Rockies had somebody with a pencil in the corner. They were way behind.
False start for Chiawana.
I'm not sure it had an eraser on that pencil either. Didn't do too well. They won 43 games this year. Was it that many?
Was it that many? Yeah. They were on pace to lose 110 plus at one point.
Well, they lost $120.
That'll back things up, make it second and 8.
That's where Charles Barkley one time with the 76ers. Bad team, man. We had a bad team. Something to that effect. And then 2 days later, woke up, he was in Phoenix. He got traded. And he said it live on the air.
Shift everybody around again on that Chiawana offense. Handoff Godino. Right side flag comes in from the referee. Likely on the offense.
That was a mess right from the get-go.
Yeah, back everybody up again. We'll back them up 5. Illegal shift.
Yeah.
I read illegal shift on his lips, but I can't read whatever all the rest of it was. 2 men in motion at the same time, going in motion and not getting set. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can.
So it was funny. We can't use the PA here because the frequency is the same as the church. I just wonder if you end up on the church PA.
Yeah, they're talking about Jesus and God, and as a Osterdock scrambling for his life, praying at this point, trying to get some help. He'll get sacked, and that'll leave bringing up 3rd and a quarter of the field.
That was an attack. It was kind of a sling.
Yeah, that was sort of, you just get him, and if that's what you have grip on, that's what you try to take to the ground. So the last 2 plays are not going to go down in the books of something they want to rewatch. They do need to get all the way down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. And we'll take a timeout. Chiawana leads 35-14. 5:15 to go. We'll have the rest of this one when we come back. Watching high school football on SWX. Score from the Spokane area, Southridge trailing 14-13 midway through the 4th quarter against the Wildcats. Here it's Chiawana 35, Wenatchee 14. Riverhawks 3rd and a lot. So they need to get to the 38. Oh, Tri-State Americans, a 7-vert goal, got them to a 3-2 lead. We'll see what Chiawana decides to do here. As the handoff goes, Godino up the middle, gets about 3. He's not going to have the scores on his resume for today, but he certainly will have the yardage. That's Wenatchee going to call a timeout. Chiawana going to have to punt the football away. But barring a wild Wenatchee comeback.
Yeah, well, they're just trying to save whatever time there is.
Well, you coach
you can't
to the
use
end.
those timeouts next year, nor can you carry them over to basketball, so you might as well use them now. And you never want to throw in the towel, even though you're down by 21.
Wouldn't that be crazy if you could use them in basketball and you watch basketball coaches on the side like, hey, you're going to lose anyways. If you're going to lose anyways, just let it keep them. Let it keep them.
Aren't there enough timeouts at basketball?
Yeah, that's true. There are so many.
Oh, the NBA is so silly. The last 3 minutes in an NBA game take 45 minutes, it seems like.
Yeah, if it's anywhere
unreal.
close. So Wenatchee out. Nobody moving back very quickly like they're going to try to be there to return the punt. So, but they also don't look like they're trying to block the kick. So I don't know that Wenatchee knew what was. I think there was some confusion from the Panther side of the football.
Oh, this is nice.
And that's going to get down to right around the 10-yard line. I got to be honest. I don't have an explanation for what I just saw from Wenatchee, other than
there was no rush. They were playing.
They were
For
confused.
a run, and then there was nobody back there for the return.
It was 4th and 25 or whatever. Like there was nothing that was going to happen outside of the punt, and so I was confused. If you're going to go try to block the punt, sure, don't put anybody back. Send 11 on the line and go. That one I don't know what happened, and that one is a little mystery to me. But ultimately, I don't think it plays too much into the end of this one.
Well, I would think you might want to try and block it, and if you block it and somebody picks it up, you score. It's a different game. Got a lot of time left.
And that's what I. That's
and there was no
thought.
rush.
And then I don't know what happened.
Again, as kids, anything can happen.
Yep. Now Wenatchee's got the ball at their own 10-yard line, 90 yards away, and they have to score 3 touchdowns in 4 minutes and 54 seconds. A very tall task on this very good Chiawana defense. And intercepted. It was. I believe that is a pick. Andre Mirror with an interception, and Chiawana can now pretty much just start to salt this game away. I couldn't quite see. I didn't see anybody running over there to indicate catch.
Yeah, one play turnover, and Mirror with a pick.
And there you see Branham throw. He had to dance along the sideline. Gets both feet in, I think.
Yeah, he didn't need both. You only need one, but he wanted to make sure. And looking down at the referee, is he out of bounds? And no, he's in.
So now to bring up 1st and 10. Already knocking on the door of the red zone is Chiawana. As Godino in the backfield gets the handoff. Left side. Rolls his way inside the 25 to about the 21. Gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah, I would think it's a matter of keeping the line moving here right now, and I don't think you're going to see the Riverhawks put anything in the air.
Yeah,
We've been wrong before, but I don't think it's a situation where you're going to be trying to air it out. Just try and run this game down.
Yeah, I think Chiawana is going to... They're not really a huddle team, per se. I mean, that's always going to be the case, but they're going to figure out different ways to run the football. Chew up the clock that way. 2nd and 6 right now. The 21-yard line. Handoff, Godino. Starts left, bouncing back right, and he's driven back.
But he did not go down.
In on the tackle, Ryan Rainbolt. So no gain there. But again, the tick, 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 as Chris Berman would say of the clock.
Kind of the water torture, drip at a time.
So 3rd down. Cooper Cisney now in the backfield. Ramin goes in motion. He'll get the handoff on the jet sweep. Right side. Finds some space. Gets it up for a 1st down. Tackled around the 10-yard line. And Chiawana continues with possession.
Well, that's what they've been able to do really since the second quarter. Pick up yards in chunks. And once again, able to do it was Raymond.
Dives his way to the 10. So first and goal. Osterdock has Cisney in the backfield with him. Ramin will go in motion again. This time he gets through. Now they're going to pitch it to Cisney on the left-hand side. Rainbolt there. But Cisney gets inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line. So gain of 6.
You'll notice, too, that Williams not out there. So we felt after the 4 touchdowns. And
well, he was out there at one point, but not out there now.
He's not out there right now. He's going to get the rest of the night off.
Cadino back in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. He's trying to slip a tackle, gets about a yard. Stuber in early.
Stuber brings down Anthony Cadino, the 3-yard line. Third down and rough.
No 2-minute warning in high school, so the clock continues to roll as we'll get under 2 minutes before the ball is snapped again. And Chiawana looking every bit the role of a team that's expected to make a deep run in the state playoffs. And just seal this one up, then wait on Sunday to see who their opponent is, likely here at Edgar Brown Stadium, either next Friday or Saturday. Osterdock throw, incomplete.
Well, credit Wenatchee because, Kevin, it's safe to say, and we were talking about it being a boxing match, and first quarter they won on points, scoreless games. Early in the second quarter they were leading on points, and then all of a sudden it shifted. The game most certainly shifted.
Flag comes in late, and with the book coming out, that means it's an unsportsmanlike conduct. Well after the play was over. We'll see who the call is on. And it's going to be on Wenatchee and on Chiawana, so that'll offset. And that'll bring up 4th and goal.
And then you're written down in the book?
Yeah, if you get 2 unsportsmanlike conducts, you're kicked out of the game. So you want to keep your cool about you.
Consider that your warning.
Gage Williams back in the lineup, looking for the quintuple. Said he'll hand it off. Cadino, right side, lowers his shoulder. He's brought down at the 2. So they're not able to find pay dirt there.
Huge hit. Jordan Barb, huge hit.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Wenatchee. Trying to find some positivity to end their season on.
Perfect angle.
Yeah, just a great job. Chase Ballou in there as well.
Yeah. Geometric hit. Hit that angle, shortest route.
We'll see how Wenatchee decides to handle the final minute 43 of their season. Congratulations to Wenatchee for getting it to this far. It's been a rebuilding kind of time frame, and Moses Lake has started to really reassert itself in the Big Nine as the dominant force that it is. Behind the coaching of Brett Jay and the right arm of his son Brady. A real threat. Trying to win a state title in the 4A ranks. Maybe we'll see a Chiawana-Moses Lake matchup down the line. Here is Branham. Out of the shotgun. Turns, hands it off to Mojica. Finds some space up the middle, out past the 5 to about the 10-yard line. That's where he'll be brought down after a gain of 7.
Cooper Cisney with the stop of Mike Mafuika.
So I think Wenatchee content to just run this one down, get off the field, though the clock has stopped. As a penalty called on Wenatchee. So that'll be a replay of 1st down as the ball now barked at the 1. Illegal procedure. And now Wenatchee looking to run some backup quarterbacks opportunity there. Rigo Garcia Jr. hands it off to Russell Kate, a
Well,
senior.
for them, it's not a happy time. You're right at the end of your season. It's been a long, hard. Started in the summer, back in August, and here the season comes to an end on November 7th.
And for these seniors, this will be the final football game they've played. This is something that a lot of these kids poured their hearts into, not just the 4 years they were in high school, but probably starting well into their, elementary school years, learning to play grid kids or that, whatever their version is, and then eventually learning the system, getting a chance to play maybe some opportunities in middle school, and then you get to go and be a Panther for a change.
Well, you always want to win your last game. But
Yes.
here's the reality. One team will win its last game. At the end of the playoffs, only one will win.
I believe we're in a situation where we're going to have to run one more play for Wenatchee, and that'll end this one. Chiawana going to move on, the 35-14 win. 35 points after starting 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter as Kate goes out to about the 10-yard line. Impressive performance, a little uneven start for the Riverhawks, but they got things together, were able to take care of business. Wenatchee just had a hard time keeping up once Chiawana had it all figured out. So great job for Wenatchee, but unfortunately for them, Panther season comes to an end. Chiawana now waits and sits down on a Sunday to see where they will end up. Likely here, and who their opponent will be come next Friday or Saturday. Final thoughts of this, Craig? This was our last high school football broadcast of 2025.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough to not see getting to the finals this Chiawana team. They are an excellent football team, well coached, and what a night Williams had. I mean, you talk about swing players in the game, and Gage certainly turned this football game with his 4 touchdowns.
This is our final high school football broadcast on SWX for the season. I want to send a big thank you to the entire crew that have been with us, whether they've been with us for only a week or all season long. We cannot be on the air without you, all under the watchful eye of Matt Funk and the crew. I want to send a big thank you as well to all of you who tuned in throughout the season. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be at Hermiston getting ready for the Columbia Basin Youth Football 6th, 7th, and 8th grade championships. And then next Saturday, it's Craig and I again for the third time in 6 and 7 days when we do Tri-City Americans and the Penticton Vs. Want to send a big thank you again as well to all of our sponsors. So again, without you, we are not able to get on the air. And a big thanks as well to Craig West, my partner in crime through much of this season. Want to say goodnight to everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. And don't forget, SWX Overtime on Nonstop Local tonight at 11:15. Have a great night, everyone.